Good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday, March 27th, end of a long week. I know the days and the weeks are both long and short at the same time now. But it's Friday, we've got the weekend coming up, and even though we're still sheltering in place, even though we're still staying at home and socially distancing and isolating, we're still making connections through poetry and through literature and through emails to say what's going on. I've got a handful of new subscribers, which is cool. Welcome to my students. If this is the first day that you've checked out the poem of the day, this whole project was inspired again by Mr. Richardson, English teacher, gentleman, and a scholar, and an athlete, and a mentor, and just an all-around, great human being. And we've had contributions from much of the English department and beyond, which is really wonderful and really terrific. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you guys got to get outside today and stay away from people, because man, I don't know if I've just forgotten how to read the weather forecast, or if they're just doing a bad job because they're at home without their Dopplers or what. But I thought it was supposed to rain all day today, and it rained this morning, and now it is, oh man, it's a day. Today's a 10. If I were a beach guy and it were, the summer, I'd be down there on the beach instead of up here at the top of the stairs. So anyways, I wanted to share a poem with you. Many of you know that a long time ago now, I think 7 years ago now, Mr. Richardson invited me to help him out with the cross-country team, and that has been something that's completely life-giving for me in the fall. It's running for me is man, it's like a medicine, it's like a church, it's like a therapist. And I know, I went for a run yesterday with my dog and my sister-in-law, and it was, it just felt like, oh, okay, we are going to be okay. So if I can get myself back in a little bit better shape, I'll actually be able to enjoy that experience like I know I can. So I wanted to read a poem today by Richard Wilbur called Man Running. And it's a fun poem. It reminds me a lot of Christopher McDougall's Born to Run, which when I read that nonfiction title, I didn't go full Vibram Five Fingers or anything like that, but it really at that time I had run a few marathons already. I think I'd run 2 or 3 marathons, and I kind of decided, oh, I want to get better at this. I want to keep doing this, and so I picked up that book, Born to Run, which I highly recommend. It reads like fiction. I think it's a really entertaining read. I think Christopher McDougall is a great author, a fantastic author who writes his nonfiction like fiction. Reminds me a little bit of Dave Eggers' nonfiction and stuff like that. In any event, this poem reminds me a little bit of certain sections of Born to Run, which is not an accident necessarily. So this was originally published in the New Yorker, and the title, as I mentioned, is Man Running by Richard Wilbur. So here we go. Whatever he has done against our law and peace of mind, our mind's eye looks with a pity of a kind at the scared, stumbling fellow on the run who hears a siren scream, as through the thickets we conceive he plows with fending arms, and to deceive the snuffling dogs now flounders up a stream until he doubles back, climbing at length a rocky rise to where he crumples and exhausted lies in the scorched brush beside a railroad track. If he then hops a freight and clatteringly rides as far as the next County in a cattle car, we feel our sense of him disintegrate in rumors, warnings, claims that here or there he has appeared, tall, short, fierce, furtive, with or without a beard. Still, in fidelity to childhood games and outlaws of romance, we darkly cheer him, whether or not he robbed that store or bank or fired that shot, and wish him guiltily a sporting chance. Ditching the stolen truck, he disappears into a vast, deep-wooded wilderness, and is at last beyond the reach of law and out of luck. And we are one with him, sharing with him that eldest dread which, when it gathers in a sleeping head, is a place modeled, ominous, and dim, remembered from the day when we descended from the trees into the shadow of our enemies, not lords of nature yet, but naked prey. I love, you know, like I mentioned, for me, running is really special. Running is that thing that I should be doing more frequently, and I find excuses not to, even though I know all of the reasons why I should be doing it and how it benefits me greatly. And that's one of the things that's, you know, when I look at I've had such good fortune with running. I've been so fortunate in all of my running endeavors, whether it's personal running and raising money for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute with the Dana-Farber Marathon Challenge, through coaching, some of my absolute best friends I've met through running. My wife and I have run 4 or 5 marathons together, like every step. I've you know, run marathons on multiple continents, and you know, got to run in Japan, and I'm up to 13. I've been fortunate enough to work with all-American runners and a national champion, and you know, it's really cool. My running coach is a Boston Marathon champion, and I'm there's just something about running. You know, you don't need anything, and you can get out there and do it. And I love running. Running is the best. And I love what this poem captures about, you know, there are so many reasons why we run, and like Coach Richardson says, it doesn't matter why you're here, but you're here, and that's all that matters. So, you know, obviously I'm not, you know, following along in the spirit of the poem. I'm most certainly not in endorsing or condoning robbing banks and things like that. But there is just something really primitive about running that I sometimes, you know, if I'm having a particularly good run, I'll think about. And I love the cadence. I love the rhyme scheme. I love the structure of Wilbur's poem here. So I'm happy to have shared that with you today. So even though tomorrow's the weekend, poetry never takes a day off. As one of my runners, Ben, would say, grind never stops. And that's true. The poetry grind does not actually stop, even though tomorrow is Saturday. So you guys take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Maintain your distance. Be kind to each other. You know, reach out to someone and let them know that you're thinking about them if you haven't yet, because it's probably a little overdue. All right, and we will see you back again. Maybe not in the same time, maybe not in the same place, but definitely the same channel. I'm figuring out. I've been YouTubing for 11 days now, and I'm pretty much I pretty much own YouTube now with my 4 subscribers. Yeah, we'll catch you again tomorrow for another edition of the Poem of the Day. Thank you, everyone. Happy Friday. Take care of yourselves.